This is part 2 of the previous one, named The Man in Every Reflection. Behind Victor, something in the mirror shifted. A long, shadowy arm pressed against the inside of the portal, trying to reach through. Victor noticed. His voice turned sharp. "Stay back." The shape retreated instantly. Aaron whispered, horrified. "Yeah, that's definitely not a good place." Victor ignored him and looked at Alina again. "You don't understand." His voice cracked. "I endured darkness for lifetimes. I whispered into endless silence. Then you appeared." He stepped even closer. "You saved me." Alina's eyes filled with tears. "I can't be your prison break." Victor's face twisted with pain. "If you refuse..." The wind grew stronger again. "I will lose you." "You never had me." Victor's hands trembled. The shadows in the portal began pushing forward again. More shapes now, watching, waiting, hungry. Aaron grabbed Alina's arm. "Alina, we need to go, now." Victor's voice dropped into something colder. "If you walk out that door, I will never be alone again." Alina felt dread crawl through her bones. "What does that mean?" Victor slowly turned toward the widening portal. The shadows began stretching out toward the apartment, dozens of hands forming in the darkness. Victor whispered softly, "I'll let them out." Aaron swore under his breath. "You're threatening the whole world because she won't date you?" Victor's eyes glowed faintly. "I'm giving them freedom." Alina stared at him in horror. "Victor, millions of people could die." "They already did." The room shook violently. The portal widened again. One shadow creature forced its head halfway through the opening. Its face was nothing but a mouth. Aaron grabbed a broken piece of the mirror frame. "Alina, think." Victor reached for her again. "Come with me." His voice was desperate now. "If you stand beside me, I'll close the door." The creature behind him pushed further through. Its claws scraped the floor. Alina looked between Victor and the spreading darkness. Her voice trembled. "If I go with you, they stay trapped?" Victor nodded slowly. "They will never touch your world." Aaron whispered urgently, "Alina, don't even consider it." Victor waited. The shadow creature crawled halfway into the apartment now. More shapes followed behind it. The entire room felt like it was sinking into ice. Victor spoke one last time. "Alina." His hand remained extended. "Choose." And this time, the shadows were already entering. The creature's claw scraped across the wooden floor. A sound like metal dragging over bone. Aaron grabbed Alina's arm harder. "Alina, we're out of time." Behind Victor, more shapes pressed against the portal. Their bodies looked unfinished. Long limbs, stretched mouths, hollow eyes glowing faintly in the dark. The first creature pulled itself further into the apartment. Its jaw opened too wide. A whisper poured out of its throat. "Free." Victor raised his hand sharply. The creature froze instantly. It trembled, but obeyed. "They listened to you?" Alina asked, horrified. Victor nodded slowly. They obey the one who opens the gate. Aaron muttered, "Great, Demon King boyfriend." Victor's eyes flashed. "Be silent." Aaron lifted his hands. "Just stating facts, Ghost Prince." Elena stepped forward slightly. "Victor." His attention snapped back to her instantly. "Yes." Her voice trembled. "If I come with you, you promise the portal closes forever?" Victor didn't hesitate. "Yes." "No one else comes through?" "Yes." "You swear?"
Victor looked almost offended. "I waited centuries for you. I will not lie now." The shadow creature growled behind him. Victor snapped his fingers. The monster retreated half a step. Aaron leaned closer to Elena and whispered urgently, "You cannot seriously be thinking about this." "If I don't," she whispered back, "those things will pour into the city. There has to be another way." Victor overheard. "There isn't." He extended his hand again. The wind howled louder now as the portal widened to the size of a doorway. Outside, distant car alarms began to scream. Reality itself seemed to be bending around the opening. Elena looked at Aaron. Tears filled her eyes. "I'm sorry."
Aaron's face went pale. No way. I have to." "You don't. If I don't stop him, people will die." Aaron shook his head. "Elena, you don't even know what happens to you over there." Victor spoke quietly. "She will be with me." "That's not reassuring," Aaron snapped. Elena slowly stepped toward Victor. Aaron grabbed her wrist. "Don't." She squeezed his hand gently. "You said I was brave once." Aaron's voice broke. "Yeah, I didn't mean walk into hell brave." Victor watched silently, almost reverently. Elena turned to him. "One more condition." Victor nodded. "Anything. You close the portal first." Victor frowned slightly. "Elena, close it," she insisted. "Then I'll come." Victor studied her face, searching. Then he smiled softly. "You're clever." He turned toward the portal. The shadow creatures hissed angrily. Victor raised both hands. Back. The monsters retreated into the darkness. Slowly, the portal began shrinking. The howling wind faded. The shapes disappeared one by one into the void. Finally, the opening collapsed into a small ripple in the air, then vanished. Silence filled the apartment. Aaron whispered, "Oh, thank God." Victor turned back to Elena. His expression was warm again. "It's done." He stepped forward. "Now come with me." Elena nodded slowly. She stepped closer, closer, closer. Victor reached out to take her hand. At the last second, Elena grabbed the broken mirror shard Aaron was holding and drove it straight into Victor's chest. Victor's eyes widened. A sound escaped him. Not pain. Shock. "You," he whispered. The mirror shard began glowing violently. Cracks of silver light spread across Victor's body, like fractures in glass. Elena's voice trembled. "You said the one who opens the gate controls them." Victor stared at her. Realization dawned too late. "You tricked me." Elena pushed the shard deeper. "And the gate." Victor's form began flickering like a damaged reflection. The room filled with a screaming sound, not from him, from the mirror dimension. Victor's body began breaking apart into fragments of black glass. "Elena," he whispered weakly. For a moment, he looked heartbreakingly human. "I waited for you." Elena's eyes filled with tears. "I know." Victor's body shattered completely. Thousands of black shards burst outward and vanished into thin air. The apartment fell silent. The cold lifted. The mirror frame collapsed to the floor. Empty. Gone. Aaron exhaled slowly. Remind me never to date someone you don't like. Elena sank to the floor, shaking. He almost destroyed everything. Aaron sat beside her. Yeah. He looked at the empty frame. Let's never buy antique mirrors again. Elena nodded weakly. For a long moment, nothing moved. Then, a faint crack appeared inside the empty mirror frame. Aaron didn't notice. Elena didn't notice. From inside the thin fracture, a single dark eye slowly opened, watching, waiting, patient again. Victor's point of view. I remember the moment the mirror shattered. Not the pain, not the betrayal, but her face. Elena. The way her eyes trembled when she pushed the shard into my chest. The way her voice cracked when she said, I know. Humans believe destruction is the end. They misunderstand eternity. I did not die. I fractured. At first, there was only darkness again, the same endless void I had endured for centuries. Cold, silent, but different now, because a part of me remained connected to her world. Through the crack, through the smallest fracture in the mirror's frame, and through her memory of me. Memories are powerful doors. Humans never realize that. I watched. Days passed. Then weeks. Elena removed the broken frame from her apartment. I followed. Not physically. Not yet. But reflections exist everywhere. Glass. Water. Metal. Screens. Tiny fragments of reality that still whisper my name. Each reflection is a window. Each window is a path. And I am patient. I have always been patient. I saw her crying one night. She sat on her bed, holding the same mirror shard she had used to stab me. She whispered softly to herself, I'm sorry. For a moment, something unfamiliar stirred in me. Not anger. Something weaker. Something human. But it faded quickly, because I also saw something else. Aaron. Always Aaron. Bringing her coffee, making her laugh, standing where I should have been. Humans move on too easily, but eternity does not move on. Eternity remembers, and I am eternity. The first time she saw me again was an accident, 3 months later. She was washing her hands in the bathroom. Steam fogged the mirror. Then she wiped it clear. And there I was, behind her, faint, cracked, but watching. She froze, her breath caught in her throat. Victor. Hearing my name again felt like sunlight after centuries underground. I smiled. Her face turned pale. No, you're gone. I pressed my hand against the mirror. This time the glass didn't break, but it trembled. You didn't finish the job, I told her gently. Elena backed away slowly. How are you still here? I tilted my head. You opened the door once. My smile widened, and doors remember how to open. Aaron came running when she screamed. Of course he did. He always does. He burst into the bathroom. What happened? Elena pointed at the mirror, but by then I had already faded. Aaron sighed. Elena, he's gone. No, I'm not. Not anymore. The crack is growing stronger. Each reflection strengthens me. Each moment she thinks about me feeds the fracture. And she thinks about me often. Fear is a powerful anchor. Love is even stronger. And she felt both. I know she did. Sometimes I whisper to her when she sleeps, just softly enough to reach her dreams. Come back to the mirror. Finish what you started. See me again. She wakes up shaking. But she always looks toward the nearest reflection afterward. Always. Humans cannot resist unfinished stories. And we are far from finished. I have learned new things during my time in Fragments. The mirror world was not my prison. It was merely a gate. Behind it, there are deeper places, older things. They remember me, and they remember her, the one who almost freed them. The one who almost became their queen. Soon, the crack will widen again. Soon, I will step into her world once more. But next time, I will not ask her to come with me. Next time, I will simply take her, because she already belongs to the darkness she touched. She just doesn't know it yet. But she will. After all, I am still watching. And she is always surrounded by mirrors. Thanks for listening. Wait for part 3. Like and subscribe for more. And those who already liked and subscribed, thank you so much.